Hello, my loves, and welcome back to this episode of Embracing Power and Potential. I hope you've all had a fabulous week, and I'm excited about this episode because this is one that sort of brings this podcast back to its roots, and we're talking about self-love. And I guess this is kind of a follow-up episode from our last week's where we dive into relationships and how love just simply isn't enough. So now we take a step into self-love and why that's so important. And specifically, I'm going to be touching on 5 ways that you can strengthen your relationship with yourself. So if you are someone that, has struggled with maybe some negative self-talk, or you find yourself stuck in cycles of unhealthy relationships, or just not feeling at your best, definitely tune into this episode. I think you will get a lot out of it. Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. Self-love isn't just affirmations and bubble baths, which it can be though. But that's really surface level, and I would look at that more as self-care. Self-love is the way that you show up for yourself every single day. These are the practices that have helped me feel more grounded, feel more confident, and more at peace with who I am. The first point is removing unhealthy relationships from your life. Now, this can be romantic, just normal platonic friendships, and even family members. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done. You can't just, click your fingers and be like, yep, no, you're out of my life. I never want to speak to you again. Sometimes, it's with family members. You may just have to create distance in your life with certain people because you may not be able to shut them out completely. But that's okay. And it's setting those boundaries in your life. Because if you keep letting yourself repeat the same cycles, for example, in unhealthy relationships, and I can speak from experience, every time that you let yourself be treated like shit, your self-worth lowers again and again and again. And eventually, your self-worth will be non-existent. I know I can say that for myself. And there is so much in finding your power again and not taking shit anymore. And when you do remove these people from your life, whether it is just friendships or relationships, you are showing yourself your value. And you are showing yourself that you are worth being treated better, being treated with respect, the bare minimum. Because if you accept anything lower than that, you're lowering your standards for your life and you're showing people how to treat you. So when you do remove these people, these relationships from your life, you are setting the standard for what you will accept for yourself. And now that is where you find your power. It's when you take your power back and choose how you are going to move through your life and choose who you're going to allow in your life and allow in your energy, because people can be energy vampires. And if you keep letting negative people into your space, you will feel drained and depleted and not the best version of yourself. So removing any unhealthy people from your life, anyone that makes you question your self-worth, any negative friendships that you have, anyone that bullies you or makes you feel any less than what you are. Point number 2, the importance of keeping your word to yourself. Because first of all, if you can't keep your word to yourself, how are you supposed to live up to your word for anyone else? You don't want to be that sort of person that say, oh no, we can't trust them, they don't keep their word. You want to be a person of your word, because not only can you trust what you say to yourself, but others can too. And when you keep that self-trust, that levels up your self-worth. When you say that you are going to do something and you follow through, that is giving yourself evidence that you can do the things that you say, that you are capable of doing the things that you were set out to do. If you keep making a to-do list and you never tick anything off and you just end up lounging around or not really doing anything, number one, you will feel less motivated to start anything. You won't feel accomplished within yourself, and you lose that self-trust. And self-trust is so important, because when you can trust yourself, that builds confidence within yourself. Whether it's following through on a workout or sticking to a morning routine or setting boundaries in your life, like with the first point, in your relationships, you start to believe in your own ability to handle life. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about knowing who you are and knowing that you can rely on you. You don't have to worry about anyone else. And then that means that your expectations for other people can lower, because you've got you. When you have self-trust, this creates emotional safety within yourself, within your body, and within your mind. And this will stop that need for constant external validation of other people doing things for you all the time, because you know that you will show up for yourself no matter what happens. And you won't be disappointed by other people. And this doesn't mean that you can't let anyone do anything for you or you can't rely on anyone, because you definitely should be able to. And I hope that you do have a circle of secure people in your life where you can turn to for help. But when you do have that emotional safety within yourself, you know that you've got you. And that is a bit of reassurance for yourself when you move through life. Number 3, shifting your inner dialogue and focusing on positive self-talk. I know you've probably heard me go on about this a lot because it's everything that I fucking preach, but talk to yourself nicely. Talk to yourself as if you would talk to your best friend. You would never put your best friend down, would you? Or tell yourself that they don't look good today, or tell yourself that you're not good enough to do something. So start speaking to yourself with respect. Start speaking to yourself with love and confidence, And it doesn't mean you have to be in the mirror and go, oh my God, I'm so hot. I'm so sexy. But you know what? If you are, fucking good for you. Because I would hope that you can be at that level of confidence within yourself. And it doesn't mean you walk around the street being like, oh, I'm so hot, but it's that self-confidence. You know who you are. But what I would suggest is if you do struggle with positive self-talk, the first step that you can do is becoming aware of it. And it takes a lot of practice because we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. So it's a little hard to manage all of it, but every time that you hear yourself say something negative about yourself or your situation, instantly, in that moment, flip the script. Change what you've said. It could be something as, oh, fuck, I'm so stupid. If you've, forgotten something. Bam, in that moment. No, I'm not. I am smart. It's just simple reframes, but it's so important because what you tell yourself is what you believe. So if you unconsciously, because 95% of our thoughts are subconscious and we don't actually realize we have them, are always negatively speaking about yourself. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I always forget things. That will keep becoming your reality. So in that moment, this is a big one, being late. Oh, I'm just always late for everything. That's you choosing that. You're actually linking your identity with being late. So instead, in that moment, change that instantly. Say, I am an early person. I am on time for things. I am organized. The more that you actually reframe these in that instant, the more that you will be aware of it when you do say these negative things, and the quicker it will be to change them. And over time, you will speak positively to yourself a lot more. I know that I do all the time. There is hardly anything that I say that is negative, and I literally, in an instant, if I say, oh, I'm an idiot, no, I'm not. I love myself. Because if you can't have a good relationship with yourself, how can you expect anyone else to have a healthy relationship with you? So shifting that inner dialogue, and if you do struggle with negative self-talk, which I know a lot of people do, and it is very common, what I would suggest that you do today, right now, is go into any mirror and just say one nice thing about yourself. And I want you to do that every time that you look in the mirror. You don't have to say it out loud. You can just say it in your head, but think of one positive thing about yourself. Better if you can even write it down or write it on a sticky note and put it on your mirror. So every time that you look in it, there's your reminder. I am beautiful. I am successful, or I am confident. Whatever it is. I am amazing. Whatever it is. One thing a day. And try and do that for the next week, at least. Point number 4. Finding joy in your own company. Now, this is so underrated when we talk about self-love, but being at peace with yourself, sitting with yourself in a quiet space, or practicing a hobby or something that lights you up. And it doesn't have to be something that you can make money off or something that you have to be really good at. Just something that you can do for yourself that makes you feel good. It could be drawing on your iPad, practicing headstands, I don't know, whatever it is, but something that makes you feel good. And just like being in your own company, And this can be tricky, especially if you aren't used to, being alone. It can actually be quite difficult when you have a lot of head noise and, your mind is very loud sometimes. It can be difficult to sit alone, but it takes practice. And the more you practice, the quieter the noise does get. Even if you're sitting there and your brain is going 100 million miles an hour and you're just trying to enjoy some time alone, being in your own company, I used to hate it. I will be the first one to say that I could not be alone. From through all my childhood years, even like through all to my teenage years, I always had someone with me, whether it was family or my parents' friends or someone, and then, my own friends. I literally had someone with me 24/7 until I was about 16. Someone was stayed at my house every night. And then when I was alone, it felt fucking weird. It didn't feel right. Like I couldn't relax. I couldn't sit still, and my mind would be so loud and going a million miles an hour. But what I do suggest, if this is something that you can relate to, and if you're having any dark thoughts or negative thoughts, start just writing them out. Writing down your thoughts, because this just gets them out of your mind. You don't have to read them back. You can rip them up or even burn them to really release them out of your mind. But practicing enjoying your own company is so crucial. And this is where you get the most creativity. This is where you get the most peace. I genuinely love being on my own now. For what I used to hate it, and I literally used to hate it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And it was one of my friends, actually, Lauren, that she said she loves being alone, and she prompted me to, enjoy my own company. And oh my gosh, it is life-changing. I could be alone for hours, and it kind of annoys me sometimes when people, on my Sundays especially, that's my day for myself, where I really, I just dive into my practices. I love to journal and go for a nice walk. And if someone interrupts that, I'm like, this is a me time. And I genuinely love it. I don't know, it's just a way that I reset my energy. And the more that you are alone, the more you love it and feel content, and the less head noise there is. And when you actually, one thing that I would do, I would sit in the park when I was living in Melbourne, just to get out of the house. I would sit in the park for hours sometimes and practice just being present. And that, for one, takes you away from your mind. It quietens. You start listening to the birds. You start hearing the wind, and really focusing on the present moment. They say that it's called bliss. And it really is. When you practice it and you sit there, the world seems a little more colourful. I don't know, that's just how I would explain it. So definitely give it a try of being in your own energy, in your own company, and practicing presence. I'm actually going to link a book in the show notes. It's called The Power of Now, and it's the power of the present moment. And it is the most life-changing book I've ever read. So if you are on a journey and, on a love yourself help books and things like that, I must read. And I will link it in the show notes so you know where to find it. Ever feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you've read the books, set the goals, but deep down, doubt still creeps in. It's not just about working harder, it's about rewriting your mindset for success. I help ambitious young people break past limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create the life they know they are meant for. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, book in your free discovery call with me today. My website will be linked in the show notes, or you can find me in my Instagram bio. Embracing Power and Potential Coaching Services. A vision to empower 10,000 young people to create a life they truly desire. The last point is respecting your body and your mind. So instead of loving your body, which, obviously we all want to love our bodies, sometimes that means, giving it a little treat but here we're talking about respecting our bodies, being intentional with the things that you are putting in your body. What are the sort of foods that you are eating? Are you having a lot of protein? A lot of fruits and vegetables as snacks? Or are you just feeding it with shit? Because when you do put nutrients in your body and things that actually are, healthier foods, you genuinely do feel better. And I know you probably hear that and think, but it's actually true. I know I speak from my own experience. And when you do, it's sort of weird, like to eat takeaway and shit, because you know that it's actually going to make you feel worse. And I'm not saying you can't have a little chocolate treat or, Tim Tam or I don't know, something, but just being intentional and thinking, okay, I just, over the weekend, I really treated myself and ate a lot of sugary, had some pizza. So now, how am I going to respect myself for the next 3 days? Am I going to be drinking a lot of water? Am I going to be making myself a healthier meal? Am I going to cut back on sugar just for 3 days? So how are you respecting your body? Movement. Are you moving your body every day? And you may have some days where you may be dog shit sick in bed, and that's okay. We're not saying that we have to be robots and, but are you just going for a 10-minute walk? Are you stretching your body every day? Because when you stretch, that moves energy through your body and lets you release tension. So movement in your body is so important, especially if you are feeling a little down. It genuinely does clear that mental fog when you just get out in nature and move your body for 20 to 30 minutes. Whether you go for a little jog or do a workout at the gym or just in your room. Whatever it is. But think of how you are going to start respecting your body today. And respecting your mind. The last thing I do want to touch on is, what are the things that you are consuming? Especially the first thing in the morning and the last thing before you go to bed. On social media, what are you consuming? Things that are filled with drama or negativity, things that are on the news. It's always a negative standpoint or a negative perspective of the world. So being conscious and reading books that fill your mind with information that is positive in your life. Watching videos or having your newsfeed on your Instagram intentionally made, following people that talk about healthy topics or self-love or anything that is bettering yourself, anything that is expanding the world and expanding your mindset in a positive way. Even horror movies aren't good for you, especially going into your subconscious mind, because it is a fear-based movie. So you're actually putting your body into like this flight or fight mode, because horror movies fuck up your nervous system when you get your heart racing. Or this is just an example, but I'm saying anything that is stressful that you watch on your phone, just being really conscious about what it is that you are consuming for your mind, because that all goes into your subconscious and that reprograms your brain and starts creating those things in your external world. I'm not saying that if you watch a horror movie, someone's gonna come into your home tomorrow and fucking murder you or something, but I'm saying that it gives you a response to your brain. So your brain will start reproducing cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and then things in your life will happen that will be stressful experiences. So just really being intentional and conscious about how you are consuming, what you are consuming in your mind, and how you are respecting your mind and your body. I don't know if you can hear those birds, but if you can, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. They are annoying me. But guys, that is the episode of today. I will quickly skim over these points again. So if you do want to jot them down in your notebook or just in the notes in your phone, so you've got them there and you can actually start putting these things into practice today. Number 1, releasing unhealthy relationships from your life. Number 2, keeping your word to yourself, the promises that you make to yourself. Number 3, shifting your inner dialogue to positive self-talk. Number 4, finding joy in your own company, whether that's in hobbies or creativity or just sitting with yourself. And the last point, number 5, is respecting your body and your mind. Being intentional with how you treat it. I love you so much. I hope that this episode, just gives you a little nudge to look after yourself and to give yourself the love that you deserve, because you don't need to find that in anyone else. You have it for yourself already. You just have to find your power and actually do the work. Treat yourself how you deserve. I love you so much. I hope you all have the best week, and I will speak to you in the next episode. Also, if you haven't, rate this podcast 5 stars. Let me know in the comments what hit the most or what you're going to try today for your self-love journey. And share it to your friends and family or on your Instagram stories, because we love growing this community. And yeah, it's always so appreciated. We're having so many more guests on that are already organized, so very exciting times. And if you ever do want to collaborate, don't ever hesitate to reach out in my emails or in my DMs on Instagram. I'm happy to connect with you all because I love you guys, and thank you all so much. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.